Have you encountered someone who seems, and on the surface, but they toxic and manipulative? Today, we're to delve into the of female covert narcissists, explore the 10 behaviors they often display. Firstly, minor issues often become major arguments. Female covert narcissists are adept at magnifying small matters, turning trivial disagreements into significant confrontations. They frequently imagine worst-case scenarios and interpret harmless situations as catastrophic. When you try to highlight the positives or offer a balanced perspective, they quickly shift the focus back to the negatives, always looking for potential problems. This constant negativity is more than just a mindset. It's a deeply ingrained habit where they feel constantly threatened and misinterpret neutral situations as severe dangers. Their main interest lies not in resolving these self-imposed problems, but in having their victim narrative validated. They derive a sense of identity and validation from being perceived as perpetual victims, making them resistant to any attempts at resolution. As a result, they continuously create chaos and conflict, fostering an environment of perpetual instability. When these crises occur, they are quick to deflect responsibility, blaming you for not being supportive enough or failing to understand their plight. This behavior pattern ensures that the relationship is always tense, leaving you feeling drained and constantly on edge. Second, it is widely recognized that individuals with narcissistic personality disorder employ various manipulation tactics to maintain control and power in relationships. When other strategies fail, a female covert narcissist may resort to emotional displays, such as shedding crocodile tears, often paired with a seemingly innocent demeanor. These displays are not genuine expressions of emotion, but calculated performances designed to manipulate the situation in her favor. If she feels trapped, exposed, or caught in the act, she may dramatically display tears and vulnerability. This sudden shift to apparent helplessness and sorrow is a strategic move aimed at deflecting accountability, eliciting sympathy, and regaining control of the narrative. The tears are meant to evoke a protective response from you, making you question your perceptions and feel guilty for confronting her. This form of emotional manipulation can be particularly disarming as it plays on your natural empathy and desire to comfort someone in distress. The display of vulnerability can be so convincing that it becomes difficult to continue the conversation, as you may fear being perceived as harsh or unsympathetic. This tactic leaves you hesitant to address her inappropriate behavior in the future, as you become wary of triggering another emotional outburst. Over time, this manipulation erodes your confidence in handling conflicts, effectively silencing your concerns and reinforcing her control. Thirdly, female covert narcissists frequently present a consistent pattern of chronic physical ailments, regularly expressing grievances about unspecified health problems. These complaints typically take precedence in their relationships, functioning to garner continual attention and sympathy. Unlike legitimate chronic illnesses that can exist without clear medical explanations, these health issues in narcissistic individuals are leveraged as tools for manipulation and exploitation. They use their supposed ailments as excuses to evade responsibilities, dominate over others' needs and concerns, and demand preferential treatment. The focus on their health becomes a central theme in their interactions, subtly shifting the attention away from any challenges or criticisms directed towards them. By perpetually portraying themselves as victims of their health, they maintain a narrative of perpetual suffering and neediness, reinforcing their perceived entitlement to sympathy and support. This manipulation tactic not only serves to control the dynamics of their relationships, but also undermines the legitimate struggles of individuals facing genuine health issues. It becomes a means to deflect accountability, justify their behavior, and maintain their position of power within interpersonal dynamics. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for navigating relationships with covert narcissists, as it reveals their strategy of using vulnerability as a weapon for manipulation and emotional dominance. Number 4 involves a strong aversion to guilt and shame. Whenever confronted about her words or actions, a female covert narcissist reacts defensively to avoid taking responsibility and to uphold a facade of being faultless and victimized. Any apology given tends to be conditional or deflective, such as saying, "Sorry, but you provoked me," or "Sorry, but I reacted because of something you did first." Often, no apology is offered at all. Instead, she deflects, denies, counterattacks, and twists the situation to portray herself as the victim, regardless of the circumstances. For instance, if she shouts at you in front of your young children and is later confronted about it, she might initially acknowledge her mistake, but quickly divert attention away from her undeniable misconduct. She may focus on any perceived faults of yours during that incident, or even dredge up past grievances to justify her behavior. Despite your calm demeanor and lack of wrongdoing, she may accuse you of provoking her actions, expecting you to concede that she is the victim and you are at fault. This manipulation tactic ultimately serves to shift blame onto you, while she demands an apology or recognition of her supposed victimhood. This pattern of behavior is designed to maintain her self-image as blameless and unfairly treated, regardless of the impact on those around her. It creates a cycle where genuine accountability and reconciliation are avoided, and the focus remains on her feelings of injustice and perceived slights. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for recognizing and addressing the manipulation tactics employed by female covert narcissists in interpersonal relationships. Number 5. In relationships with a female covert narcissist, household responsibilities can escalate minor disagreements into significant conflicts. Issues arise daily, and expectations extend beyond normal boundaries. Even if you handle outdoor tasks, indoor duties remain unchanged, with her consistently finding reasons to delegate responsibilities, often citing health issues or stress as excuses. Criticism becomes routine, extending to tasks that were not originally yours. Moments of relaxation are frequently interrupted by additional demands, accompanied by feelings of guilt and shame imposed by her. Narcissistic traits amplify expectations to near OCD levels, where no effort seems to meet her standards. Despite your best efforts, scrutiny persists, leaving you feeling inadequate and constantly criticized, as though you are incapable of meeting even basic expectations. This dynamic creates a relentless cycle of conflict and emotional turmoil within the relationship. The constant criticism and unattainable standards set by the covert narcissist undermine your sense of competence and self-worth. It becomes challenging to navigate daily interactions and responsibilities without experiencing heightened stress and anxiety, as her manipulation and control tactics erode the foundation of trust and mutual respect in the relationship. Understanding these dynamics is essential for recognizing the emotional toll and establishing boundaries to protect your well-being in such relationships. Emotional reasoning, as the 6th issue, impedes the resolution of disagreements by shifting focus from factual arguments to emotional responses. In interactions with a female covert narcissist, understanding the other party's perspective becomes challenging, as discussions often devolve into emotional reasoning rather than logical discourse. The covert narcissist may steer conversations away from factual arguments and introduce emotional responses, which complicate and confuse the dialogue. They might interject new facts or shift to unrelated topics to avoid accountability or to manipulate the narrative in their favor. This continual change in focus confounds and frustrates attempts to address the original issue constructively. This pattern of emotional reasoning serves to deflect from the core issues at hand, making it difficult to achieve clarity or resolution in disagreements. It perpetuates a cycle where logical reasoning and mutual understanding are overshadowed by emotional manipulation and obfuscation. Recognizing and addressing this tendency is crucial for fostering healthy communication and conflict resolution in relationships affected by covert narcissistic dynamics. Number 7. Emotional blackmail manifests in various forms within relationships with female covert narcissists. This can include issuing ultimatums to terminate the relationship, such as leaving abruptly only to return later, or making threats of self-harm or defamation. These tactics are designed to instill fear and uncertainty, ultimately seeking to assert dominance over both you and the relationship. The covert narcissist may use these manipulative tactics to control your behavior and emotions. Threatening to end the relationship unpredictably and then returning creates a cycle of anxiety and dependency, where you may feel compelled to comply with their demands to avoid abandonment. Similarly, threats of self-harm or defamation aim to guilt-trip you into prioritizing their needs and desires over your own well-being. These forms of emotional blackmail undermine trust and stability in the relationship, creating a toxic dynamic where your emotional and psychological boundaries are continuously tested and violated. Recognizing these manipulative behaviors is crucial for protecting your own mental health and well-being, as well as for establishing healthier relationship dynamics based on mutual respect and genuine emotional connection. Number 8 involves the refusal to engage in constructive dialogue and problem-solving, thereby precluding mature discussions in relationships with female covert narcissists. Attempts to express personal needs, emotions, or concerns are often met with stonewalling, a tactic where the narcissist refuses to engage or communicate. This could manifest as the silent treatment, where they ignore you completely, or as a manipulation tactic of withholding affection and emotional support. Stonewalling serves to shut down communication and prevent any meaningful resolution of issues. When you attempt to initiate a discussion about your feelings or concerns, the covert narcissist may dismiss your thoughts, invalidate your emotions, or simply refuse to acknowledge the conversation altogether. This behavior reinforces their control over the relationship dynamics, as they dictate when and how discussions will occur, or if they will happen at all. The manipulation of withholding affection further exacerbates the emotional strain within the relationship. By withdrawing emotional intimacy, the narcissist creates a sense of insecurity and anxiety, making you more likely to comply with their demands or avoid confrontations to regain their approval and affection. These tactics of stonewalling and withholding affection hinder the development of healthy communication patterns and problem-solving skills in the relationship. Recognizing these behaviors is essential for establishing boundaries and promoting mutual respect and open dialogue in interpersonal interactions. A female covert narcissist, exemplified by trait number 9, exhibits a pronounced tendency to criticize others without considering their individual circumstances. Despite professing high empathy, she consistently fails to empathize with others, while simultaneously expecting empathy from them. Interactions with a covert narcissist often revolve around listening to her critical assessments of people, which can range from neighbors and family to friends and even strangers. Over time, you may find yourself becoming her primary target of complaints, only to discover that she discusses you with the same individuals she critiques. This double standard highlights her lack of genuine empathy and a propensity to use others as objects for her criticism and validation. The covert narcissists' criticisms are often superficial and lack depth, focusing more on perceived flaws or shortcomings rather than understanding the complexities of individual circumstances. Her need to constantly critique others serves to elevate her own self-image while diminishing those around her. This behavior reinforces a cycle of superiority and entitlement, where she expects admiration and empathy without reciprocating these feelings towards others. Navigating relationships with a covert narcissist requires recognizing these patterns of criticism and understanding their underlying motivations. Establishing boundaries and maintaining perspective on your own worth and values can help mitigate the impact of these behaviors on your emotional well-being. Number 10 leads to isolation from friends and family in relationships with female covert narcissists. For instance, she may accuse your male friends or family members of misconduct, often without evidence or justification, which can lead you to sever ties with them. This pattern repeats over time, with each accusation followed by a plausible justification for distancing yourself from different individuals. The covert narcissist manipulates these situations to isolate you from potential sources of support and outside perspectives. By casting doubt on the motives and behaviors of your friends and family, she creates a narrative where she becomes the only trustworthy and reliable presence in your life. This manipulation tactic is aimed at consolidating her control over you and ensuring that her influence remains unquestioned. Over time, you may find yourself increasingly isolated from your social circle, as the covert narcissist's accusations and justifications erode your trust in others. This isolation can be gradual, as she subtly undermines your relationships and fosters a dependency on her emotional validation and support. Recognizing this pattern of isolation is crucial for maintaining connections with supportive friends and family members. Establishing boundaries and seeking outside perspectives can help mitigate the impact of the covert narcissist's manipulative tactics and preserve healthy relationships outside of the dynamic she creates. Recognizing these toxic behaviors, the first step towards protecting yourself from female covert narcissists. Stay vigilant, your instincts, and remember that you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. If you've encountered any of these behaviors, share your experiences in the comments and don't forget to like and share this video to spread awareness. Thank you for watching.